This is David Bernstein from the Fredcast. We're live from the show floor with Interbike TV. Today we're with Bob Parlee from Parlee Bikes. Now, Bob, you're really well known for your custom bikes, but the bike we're standing in front of today, this is a stock bike. Tell me about this.
Well, we started off with our Z1, then with Z2 and Z3, all with custom geometry. And then a couple of years ago, we introduced our Z4, which was our first stock frame that we had built. And now this year, we have our Z5, which is based more on our Z1. Our Z4 is based more on our Z3. We were shooting for weight with this. We wanted to be down the 800 gram weight range for the frame. We wanted to go BB30, inch and a quarter steerer tube to inch and an eighth, carbon dropouts, carbon seat post clamp. It's just very clean, very functional bike. It's the next step up from the Z4, but it probably has the characteristics of more like the Z1, very clean feel to it and very responsive.
So in a carbon bike, a lot of people are used to, some bikes are very stiff, some bikes accelerate very well, but when you get into that stiffness in a carbon frame, sometimes it can really beat you up. What are the ride characteristics of this bike?
Well, with all our bikes, with our Z1, right through our whole line of bikes, we went for torsional stiffness, not vertical stiffness, more compliance in the vertical. So in every one of our bikes, when you get on them and you sprint or climb, you just feel them accelerate really cleanly. But you can do a Sentry on it and feel as fresh as, you feel really fresh as compared to a very stiff bike. So with our bikes, we have always looked for torsional stiffness, so sprinting, climbing, descending, and all that will be very clean, very stable, but a fairly compliant ride to it, so that when you initiate a turn, it goes right into the turn. When you're riding over rough roads, even cobblestones or anything like that, it's a very clean feel to it.
Sure. Now, on the stock bike, how do you outfit it? What kind of components do you put on the bike?
Typically, Dura-Ace, Reckitt. All our bikes here with SRAM red, and we've also been working with Edge a lot, with our custom frames. They build our tubing. So on all of our bikes here, we have their wheels on them and physique saddles, and this is a pretty typical setup for one of these bikes.
So considering this setup, what kind of a retail price are we talking about for a bike like this?
This is around, well, with the wheels bring it up a bit. Probably 7 to 8 or so, and a more basic setup, you're in that 6 range.
Now, tell me a little bit more about the construction of the frame, considering the fact that it's carbon, but also considering some of those ride attributes you talked about. How do you achieve that?
Well, the whole thing with carbon is tube diameter and fiber placement and fiber orientation. So with our custom frames, we build our tubes separate from the bike. We build them on a mandrel, and there's a very specific layup in those tubes. With a monocoque type of construction, as in this frame here, you can put more plies in the areas that you want the stiffness in, and/or torsional stiffness, but it's still fiber placement, fiber orientation with this. And the nice thing about this bike, if you take it apart and look inside of it, it's as clean inside as it is outside. They do an exceptional job building these frames. Really proud of, we like showing off the insides as much as the outsides.
Nice.
Yeah.
Real good. Bob, where can people find more information about your bikes?
ParleeCycles.com. And we have a number of dealers around the country, around the world now. So, but you can start there at ParleeCycles.com.
Sounds good. Have a great show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
This is David Bernstein for Interbike TV. We're live from the show floor.